This episode is brought to you by Monkey Nutrition. Let's talk about longevity. Steve, you're 61. You look fantastic. I just turned 43, and I'm feeling it. You know, it's definitely things slow down. You have to really stay on your game. Nutrition becomes more and more important. How do you do it? How do you stay active? And what do you do different now than you used to do? And what do you tell people that are your age that come up to you and say, I want to be like you, Steve?
Well, I had some really good mentors, by the way.
Okay.
You know, my college wrestling coach is still hard at it. He's in his late 70s. The guy still skips rope like an hour a day.
Wow.
Yeah, he still looks like he did back in the day, back in the 70s when I was wrestling at the university. I mean, the guy's amazing.
Okay.
So, you know, I had some good mentors.
And the Gracie stayed in shape, right?
Gracies are amazing. They all look young and well.
They do all look
You
super
know,
young,
and you know, they had a lot of time in the sun too, but yet they still have a fairly youthful appearance. But a lot of the youthfulness is in your mind. You got to get rid of the images of mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and get that out of there. You know, you don't. You know, most of us had relatives, elderly relatives that didn't fare so well. I had made it my mission not to end up like my grandparents and even my parents now. It's a mental thing.
How so?
Well, there's an expectation. You actually have a belief system
In yourself.
and the belief system creates the circumstances. So you will act out according to your beliefs. So it's important to get rid of all those negative beliefs concerning aging.
What would be an example of one of those?
Well, you know, I can't do this anymore, or I'm too old for this. And you hear people say things,
Right.
and for sure, they are too old because they believe that.
Yeah.
So, you know, keeping youthful and young, I like to keep company with younger people. I don't like to be around old people. I refuse to go to funerals. You know, I don't need that. You know, the guy's dead. He doesn't need me there anymore.
Right, okay.
Okay? Funerals are for the living, you know, but it's just the way it is. But realizing that, you know, none of us get out of here alive. We're all going to get old. We're all going to die. Whatever amazing feats of strength and all that you did, you know, that will go away. You know, that's an acceptance of fact. No big deal there. But there's still plenty of things that you can do. And you look at all the things that you can do. And one of the things I've changed over the years is I just give myself more recovery time. And I don't push the envelope nearly as hard as I used to when I was younger. You know, more recovery time. And of course, you got to get really strict with the diet as you get older. You can't have those cheat days like you did when you were like, you know.
Because it stays with you.
Yeah,
right?
it's more austerity. You become a little bit more austere. And you realize that, you know, these binges and cheats, just not worth it, man.
And they make you feel horrible.
I mean, you just feel crappy for days on end. And you begin to realize, like, wow, you know, if I'm tempted to do this or that, I just think about, like, what the repercussions are going to be the next day. And as you get older, you can start to think more clearly along those lines. You know what's going to happen. You've already experienced it. So, you know, you're able to get a little bit more control over your urges, and you're not so impulsive.
Okay.
About the way you conduct your life.
When it comes to easing yourself back, I mean, I've seen videos of you training and things like that. When it comes to, say, you're going to do 10 or 20 hill sprints, will you be like, I'm going to push myself to get that next one done? Or you're thinking, I don't need to do that anymore? Or will you still push yourself from a cardio standpoint?
Well, I'll still push myself occasionally. You know, you still have to push the body to create a demand. You're basically tapping into your survival mechanism with training, so that the body has a reason to maintain a certain level or even get stronger. But what you will find is once you get much after 50, the days for PRs and personal bests are long gone.
After 40, I think. This week on London Real, we're taking you back to our 2012 interview with futurist Jacques Fresco.
We must eventually design a language that's not subject to interpretation. Whenever you talk to people, you think you're talking to people. It goes in their ear and comes out in relation to their background. They don't hear exactly what you say. There is no way you can think outside of your culture.
What if we elected you president this year and you started in the Oval Office January 20th, 2013?
I'd be shot in 3 days. Who makes the decisions in the Venus Project? The answer, nobody. They arrive at them. We abolish all separate nations because they're all corrupt.
Jacques Fresco has been designing cities of the future.
What do you think of England and London?
Foul, awful, no city planning. All cultures are corrupt.
And the banking system, what do we do with
Bank
that?
gone, no money anymore.
On Sunday, London Real presents Jacques Fresco, The Venus Project, Redux.
Most politicians know nothing. Please don't take my word for it. Ask them.